Shure MV6 USB. Now, this mic may look like it just got off the set of a space drama, but plug it in and suddenly your stream sounds like you are commentating from an expensive glass-walled studio. The auto leveling and noise rejection are so good, they make your old gaming PC's fan sound like a distant memory, but its stand and cable are shorter than my patience for stream snipers. If you need easy, crisp, pro voice, this Shure gets the job mostly done, with just a hint of sibilance as seasoning. 8 out of 10. JLab Audio Talk Pro. This mic wants you to know it is not just pretty. Inside, 3 condensers let you play with recording patterns until you sound like a talk show host from the future. Audio comes through crystal clear, with enough warmth to make your viewers feel hugged, though its gain knob is about as useful as a flat tire, and that LED ring is strictly why though territory. Still, it handles pro-level fidelity and versatility without making your brain hurt, which is more than some pricey mics can claim. 7 out of 10. Samson Q2U. For the price, this mic does not just join the party. It brings snacks, drinks, and its own playlist, rocking both USB and XLR like a pro, with truly clear vocals that somehow reject your roommate's background. Netflix marathon. All the beginner-friendly gear comes in the box, but maximum glory needs a quiet room unless you want that distant echo of last night's pizza debate. Honestly, for no-nonsense plug-and-play streaming, this humble Samson punches way up. 8 out of 10. AKG Lyra. This mic struts onto your desk looking like a retro radio star, with a big chunky build so sturdy you could probably deflect bad takes with it. It's got more capture modes than you'll ever need, super crisp sound for both your awkward solo rants and that rare podcast guest who isn't your mom. Zero latency headphone monitoring means you can obsess over every syllable without grimacing at lag, but if you hate fiddling with buttons, the controls may leave you muting yourself mid-sentence more than you'd like. A solid all-rounder, but if you want true studio magic, it's more best friend than rockstar. 7 out of 10. Sennheiser Profile Streaming Set. This thing is smoother than your favorite streamer's apology video, with a boom arm so sturdy it could double as a medieval battering ram if nights podcasted. Sound quality? It's like talking into a velvet pillow. Your voice glides out warm, clear, and blissfully free of plosives, even if you skip the pop shield. Despite its simple plug-and-play charm and wonderfully tactile controls, you might pine for some included accessories, but honestly, it'll make your setup look pro, even if it's your cat in the background. Great sound, easy as pie, only loses points for making your other gear jealous. 9 out of 10. Rode NT USB Plus. If Rode's NT USB Plus was any cleaner, you'd want to eat off it. Bringing vocals so rich and detailed, you'll be tempted to record an audiobook when you're supposed to be streaming. Plug it in, let that Revolution preamp magic work, and bask in the whisper-quiet audio even when your gaming rig sounds like an airplane engine. It's packed with DSP for tweaking, but not being able to adjust gain or press a mute button could make you wish you had longer arms or quicker reflexes. A top-tier USB mic for streaming and podcasts, but for loud instrument action, look elsewhere. Still, for the vocals alone, it's a studio stunner. 8 out of 10. Shure MV7i. The Shure MV7i is like the Swiss Army knife of microphones, slicing through room noise and bad vibes with its sharp, balanced sound that basically makes podcasters and gamers sound like radio gods. Setting it up is so simple you might actually have time for a sandwich. And if you suddenly want to record a friend in your kitchen midstream, the dual-channel features got your back without needing extra gear. If versatility, quality, and fuss-free flex appeal sound good to you, this little mic earns its praise. But a USB-only connection means some pros may gripe. 8 out of 10. Blue Yeti USB. Blue Yeti is the plug-and-play legend that's as easy as making toast, serving up crisp audio for beginners while looking like it belongs in a real studio. You get 4 patterns, a nice solid build, and versatility for everything from recording interviews to catching bird noises. But beware, touch those wobbly knobs too hard, and your gain might desert you. Plus, the sensitivity means your neighbor sneezing will be captured for posterity. It's still the reigning champ for fresh streamers on a budget, but pickier pros will wish for less background clutter. 7 out of 10. HyperX QuadCast S. HyperX QuadCast S doesn't just light up your desk with its bonkers RGB glow. It makes you sound super clear and way less like you're broadcasting from your mom's basement. Setup is instant. The shock mount keeps your desk rage silent, and the tap to mute is perfect for those sneeze attacks midstream. But if you crank the gain too high, you might end up broadcasting your cat's complaints too. Extra features and all-around sound give this mic serious streamer cred. And while it's not the most portable beast, it's a sparkling upgrade for anyone who takes their voice as seriously as their gaming. 9 out of 10. HyperX SoloCast. The HyperX SoloCast keeps it simple, sounding so crisp your chat might actually believe your horror story is real, but it is about as feature-packed as a cardboard box with a USB cable. Being a true tap-to-mute champ, it picks up your voice like a pro, until your desk starts vibrating. then you are just streaming your keyboard ASMR. For the price, it is hard to grumble. But for noisy setups, you are better off upgrading your battle station. Solid. 7 out of 10. Samson G-Track Pro. Want to feel fancy? The Samson G-Track Pro drops a studio vibe on your streaming desk with more buttons and knobs than a spaceship, letting you record both your voice and your impromptu kazoo solo at the same time. Sound is clean, warm, and versatile, but this chunky beast might knock over your coffee. Plus, that mute button could fall off and disappear into the void if you are not careful. I loved the audio, but for portability and price, it is a heavy 6 out of 10. Razer Seiren V3 Chroma. If you want your stream looking like a rave, the Razer Seiren V3 Chroma dials up the RGB to 11, glowing like a gaming unicorn and actually syncing lighting with your alerts and games. It is dead simple to plug in, makes your voice sound like buttery velvet, but honestly, the price hurts, and noisy rooms can make its performance drop faster than your internet during a storm. Glitzy enough to show off on camera and good for quiet rooms. Flashy, but only worth a 7 out of 10. Fifine Amplagame A6T. Plug this in and suddenly your voice is crisp, clear, and just sassy enough to survive a squad meltdown, though you might have to lean closer unless you want your keyboard clacking to sound like a drum solo in the background. The RGB lights are ready for a rave, and the included boom arm isn't exactly gym-worthy, sometimes drooping mid-session like a streamer after a 12-hour marathon. This mic gives solid audio for bargain hunters. Just tighten the arm, dodge the desk noise, and enjoy streaming on a shoestring. 7 out of 10. SteelSeries Alias Pro. This beast of a mic will make your voice sound so rich people might think you swallowed a podcasting studio, though the mixer buttons feel like someone glued marshmallows under them, and the gain indicator does its best impression of a magic 8-ball, completely unreliable. It's pro-level gear and sounds brilliant, but before you sell your car to buy it, ask yourself if you really need it, because using all its fancy features is almost an Olympic sport. If you want to flex on stream, this will do it. Just ignore the price tag and those moody LEDs. 8 out of 10. Beyerdynamic Fox. Tiny but mighty, the Fox delivers pro-quality vocals and blocks out background noise like it's allergic to distractions, though you might find yourself wishing the gain switch had more options, because recording volume is sometimes shy and retiring. Slick design and top-notch sound put broadcast quality vibes within arm's reach, but if you want to record a group stream, get ready to get cozy. Its cardioid pattern is a one-person show. Packs a punch for solo streamers, but don't expect it to replace a studio full of features. 7 out of 10. NewSkill Apollos Pro. With 4 polar patterns and a look that screams, "Hey, I actually stream things," the Apollos Pro lets you sound like a pro, whether you are rage-quitting or whispering sweet nothings to Twitch chat. The shock-resistant design keeps your desk-thumping tantrums from ruining your audio, but if you are hoping for cross-platform support, this thing is more loyal than your mod squad, Windows only. A crisp and versatile mic for streamers who want quality and convenience. But be warned, it is not playing nice with Macs or consoles anytime soon. 8 out of 10. Logitech Yeti Orb. Here comes the Yeti Orb, looking like a disco ball in RGB and ready for plug-and-play action. Perfect for the streamer who wants clarity, but refuses to read the manual. The audio quality is shockingly good for the price, yet you get 0 physical controls, so adjusting the stand is about as flexible as a brick, and you will need to hunch over like Gollum for optimal sound. It records great if you stay close, but if you like distance or background noise, be ready for a drop in magic. Still, solid bang for your buck. 7 out of 10. Fifine AM8 USB. The Fifine AM8 is the budget hero with USB and XLR for dual wielders, RGB lights you can actually turn off, and sound that punches above its price bracket, but has a weak, floppy mount that makes it look like the world's saddest desk lamp. Mid-frequencies can take a slight vacation, so your voice is more vroom and fizz than smooth jazz, but for under $50 it is hard to whine too much unless you want studio-level polish. Versatile, cheap, and surprisingly crisp if you do not mind getting handsy with your mic stand. 6 out of 10. Audio-Technica AT2020 USB Plus. This mic shows up dressed in a solid metal outfit, ready to capture every syllable like a podcasting butler. But if your gaming den sounds like a herd of tap-dancing squirrels, it might broadcast every noisy click with pride. Plug-and-play setup keeps tech stress out, and zero latency monitoring helps you avoid embarrassing echo bloopers midstream. Too many keyboard sounds for gamers, but pure gold for clear vocals in a quiet room. So I am gifting it a strong 7 out of 10. Razer Seiren Mini. This pint-sized streamer's sidekick is so small it might vanish behind your mug. But dang, does it punch above its weight for beginner broadcasts with crisp, clear audio and a look that says, "I just joined the party and brought cupcakes." Forget fancy controls, no mute, no gain dial, just pure simplicity, and a price that makes your wallet do a happy dance. But prepare to fiddle with software for your adjustments if you want more control. For easy, sharp sound and zero fuss, I'll toss it a solid 7 out of 10. Mackie Chromium. If microphones hosted game shows, this one would bring extra contestants, offering not just rich sound but a full-on mixer built in so you can toss your guitar, your voice, and maybe your cat's meow right into the mix. It is rugged, loaded with switches, and great for musicians, but its chunky desk presence and slightly finicky mixing meter make it less ideal for small streaming setups, craving elegance and agility. For tons of features and solid audio, though, I'm tapping the big red button for 6 out of 10. HyperX QuadCast S. This mic wants you to look as good as you sound with its swirling rainbow of over 100 customizable LEDs, because apparently, color is as important as clarity now. Its audio is sharp, warm, and streamer-friendly, thanks to 4 polar patterns and a tap-to-mute feature that will rescue you from that embarrassing sneeze mid-sentence. But honestly, unless you're hosting NASA-level audio experiments, you'll never use its over-the-top, ultra-premium sound specs. It's a flashy gem that's more party on your desk than serious studio, and while the price is wild, the performance keeps up, with a splash. 8 out of 10. HyperX DuoCast. The DuoCast is like the younger sibling that desperately wants its own identity. Solid sound, 2 polar patterns, and just enough RGB to say, I'm fun but not trying too hard. Plug it in, tap to mute, and let that 24-bit recording capture your every dramatic gamer sigh. Though do not expect this mid-ranger to sweep awards or turn heads in the streamiverse. Good, but not great. Like a reliable sidekick who never steals the spotlight but won't embarrass you either. 6 out of 10. Myono PM422. This budget mic is dressed to impress, flaunting a shock mount, windscreen, and those suspiciously sturdy accessories that make your desk look pro, even if your chat is mostly bad jokes. Sound quality punches way above its price, with a rich cardioid tone that cuts background noise and handy features like a touch mute and dial for on-the-fly control. Although seasoned streamers will want more than USB convenience eventually, think of it as cheap, cheerful, and surprisingly capable for newbies, but do not expect it to carry you to audio stardom. 5 out of 10. Elgato Wave. From the moment you hit record, this mic makes your voice sound crisp enough to butter your own toast. Seriously, if you stream a lot, your listeners might think you upgraded your vocal cords. ClipGuard saves you from those accidental shouty moments, so you can rage at games without blowing up someone's speakers, and the plug-and-play setup means you can start streaming before your cat knocks something off your desk. I really only wish its mount was built like the rest. Tough. So it's a solid mic that almost nails perfection. 9 out of 10. Razer Seiren V2X. It looks sleek and packs that famous gamer RGB flair, which is ideal if you want your desk to glow brighter than your gameplay, but you still get audio that's flatter than last night's soda, unless you stick your nose 2 centimeters from the grill. Between finicky controls and software that's about as pleasant as a surprise firmware update midstream, you do get good clarity as long as background noise is kept in check. Just avoid clacky keyboards unless your fans crave keyboard ASMR. It's decent for some, but not really pro-level streaming, unless your definition of pro is kinda meh. 5 out of 10. JLab Epic Talk. JLab Epic Talk tries hard to be the life of your stream party, bringing 4 pickup modes so you can record yourself, your friends, your cat, and probably the guy mowing outside, all with a glow-up from the built-in LEDs. Sound is genuinely good for casual streamers, crisp, clear, and it even manages to cut the echo when you game in a hardwood floor dungeon. But fiddling with all the modes is only fun if you secretly want to host a podcast circus. Fun and flexible, but mostly a budget-friendly hype man. 7 out of 10. NZXT Capsule Elite. The NZXT Capsule Elite tries to woo streamers with a slick spaceship vibe, but its sound is more budget shuttle than Starship, so do not expect to break the sonic barrier on your broadcasts. Its plug-and-play setup gets you rolling in seconds, though that entry-level performance will have your fans wondering if you are orbiting the gaming planet or just floating aimlessly. Unless your definition of elite includes average audio and a price tag that thinks it is a celebrity, this mic lands with a solid meh. 5 out of 10.